was a little over 5 years ago when our son came home from the bus stop and announced that he was the only kid at the bus stop whose parents were still married. I mean, get that, 8 families represented, and his was the only one whose both parents still lived at home. What happens? What happens in a family where it starts out and you're blissful, you're enjoying one another's company, you're finding everything that you share in common, to finding all the irritations? I know for us, we started out with that blissful romance and unfortunately followed the trend and began to have shouting matches every single day.
Yep.
Our marriage almost didn't make it.
That's a fact. But you know, all thought leaders throughout time have agreed on one central principle. Now, they've disagreed on a lot of things, but this one thing they've all agreed on, and that's that we become what we think about.
Yeah.
King Solomon, the wisest dude to ever sport a pair of flip-flops, put it this way. He said, as we think in our heart, so we become. So the question is, when it comes to your spouse, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about how they fall short? Are you thinking about how you feel like you're constantly getting the short end of the stick and they're just not measuring up? And is that really what you want more of? Or do you want more?
What if we stopped all the accusations and began to build on common ground, celebrating one another, celebrating our differences? What if we stopped the madness of busyness and began to ask one another, what do we really want together as a couple? What if we became the single person in the world who actually believed the very best about our spouse?
You know, that's exactly what we want to challenge you to do right now, starting this week. To be intentional about your thoughts, to begin to find things to celebrate about your spouse. And you know what? Although it's not one of those things where you take one of these and it's all good in the morning, we know one thing that you'll find for sure. It's the same thing that we found, and the same thing that thousands of couples that we've worked with have found. That you've just taken the first step towards having the marriage and the spouse that you've always wanted.
We have a vision to reduce the divorce rate by 40% in our lifetime, to change the conversations around the bus stop. So join us at marriedforapurpose.com to learn more.